Hey guys, a little public service announcement today. We have a shaving industry where we have the big makers. What is it, Procter and Gamble, and those guys. Whoever owns Gillette, that parent company. Churning out multi-blade cartridges easily and quickly, and tons and tons of those. But our little world of double-edged razors and soaps and uh, things like that. It's a much smaller piece of the pie. The soap and brush makers that are out there that are people like you and me who do it on their spare time, and they sell products, and then they get a good name, and then you try to order their products, but because they've got 1,000 people on their website trying to buy the same thing, the hundred soaps that they made in their batch just disappear in a matter of seconds. I know that's what happens with Mammoth and in the past, Bufflehead, Talbot, Declaration soaps often sell out quickly. Oh, yeah, that Massacre of the Innocents scent um, sold out really quickly. Haven't decided whether I want to try to, buy that up used or not. I think I might, if it came up used. But Bufflehead used to be that way as well. They have a duck fat base that's really good performance and some very interesting, cool scents. And the reason that thumbnail of this video is me shaking an angry fist is because that's sometimes how we feel when we get in line in the virtual line on the internet and we fail and we end up walking away with nothing. Well, I just wanted to put a little video out there to explain that. I was talking online recently with Alan, and he was experiencing some frustration with wolf whiskers. I have a wolf whiskers brush that I got because that maker attended a meetup in Greensboro in 2019, and he was the maker of the meetup's handle. Katie's Bubbles was the maker of the meetup's soap, and Wolf Whiskers made the custom meetup handle. And so that's the only Wolf Whiskers handle I've got. He apparently does it in drops, or he opens up his wait list for, he's got 15 slots that he can make at a time. So he opens up that wait list, at least if the web page I read is a good one to use, is a good resource, a good reference, because I mean it was on his site. Um, he opens up 15 slots every so often, and then I guess the wait list gets closed until the next time. And then now he has a wait list, so he can work off that, make those 15 handles, and then open it up again, that sort of thing. And Alan was very frustrated. Maybe he went through that process. Maybe he did something else. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Alan just told me a little bit about it, but I can definitely understand with not getting those products that you wait for, and you because that same thing happened to me with Bufflehead and Fletcher a few years ago. It was my first time hearing about a drop of a soap, and it sounded like a good maker to have. And so I waited on my phone. I was out with my relatives that day, and I had my phone. I was refreshing. I had a lot of excitement, like I'm going to get it. And I just didn't know about the supply and demand problem in this industry. There so often are low supply and high demand situations, like with Mammoth. I think maybe 100 soaps is what he's able to make at a time usually. I mean, that's a lot if you think about it. For a guy in a side job, they don't do this full time, and they even if it's 200, I guarantee you there are more than 200 people who are jumping on his website to try to get his new soaps and his new products at that release time. And so even if it was 200, even if it was twice as much as was able to create, or maybe he can do 200, I don't know what his amount is, but I guarantee you it's sold out in seconds. And it happens with Talbot and Mammoth and Declaration Grooming brushes. Even some special releases of soaps like the recent Grapefruit from Southern Witchcrafts. Um, that Darm Rob brushes sell out pretty quickly. Craving Shaving has some really good handles that disappear pretty quickly. There's just a big uh, market, there's lots of people that want some of these quality products. And unfortunately, these are not big companies that are making those. And so they can only make small batches at a time. So don't be like the public that has a bad attitude. And I think that actually may be what has driven Bufflehead into stopping production or lowering it quite significantly. I don't think he's had a release in a while. And I think he just got tired of the negative feedback and complaints and harassment he was getting from customers, from people who missed out on his drops because they claimed that he was just drumming up, using lack of supply to drum up hype and that sort of thing. And it's just, I think in 99% of the cases, it's just not true. It's not what guys are doing, and it's unfortunate. I'm sorry for so many of us. I've only managed to get in on one of the drops that I've tried to get in on. So I am in the majority of you guys where we miss out. Even if you log into PayPal ahead of time and you're sitting there hitting F5, to try to get in right when you can, even if you do everything proper during the order execution, you may just miss out. Sometimes it's because there are flippers and stuff who get in there with their computers and stuff and screw everything up for other normal people. But a lot of cases, it's just because there are a ton of people trying to get these products, and it is so frustrating. And so I just wanted to try to speak for those vendors and makers out there who are trying to keep up with demand. They're doing the best they can, but they just can't because our little shaving community has a lot of people in it, at least compared to the kind of output that these companies can put out. And so in a matter of seconds, these supplies are gone. And so please don't be angry with them unless they've specifically made a promise to you to get it to you or something like that. That's a different story. But in terms of waiting in line and not being able to get something, it's just something we all kind of have to deal with. But the good news is that there are so many makers out there who make really good soap and brushes and handles and products that maybe if you have trouble getting the elite gear or certain kinds of gear, there's still a lot of stuff that's available out there. Let's think about what we do have instead of, like I have to tell my kids, don't focus on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. Focus on what you can get instead of what you can't. So I just wanted to provide some information because I know that there are a lot of new guys who are enjoying my channel and helping their razor technique and lather technique and things like that. And I so appreciate your viewership, if that's a word. But just in case you didn't know about the whole supply and demand issue, that it does very much relate to our shaving hobby. I just wanted to pass that on, maybe spare you a little bit of disappointment and heartache. All right, guys, we'll see you in line at the next Mammoth drop, all right? Take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I hope this helps you out some way. Take care.